So I decided to do a video on the Zorga deck I'm currently playing in Deer Days, which honestly is very enjoyable because you just get a ton of value out of it. So obviously the deck has the same normal ride line, as the old Zorga deck, year 1, 2 and your 3. And then it's also running the new Zorga from Festival Collection 2, which is honestly just really significantly better from the old one. As I mean, you more reliably do your alchemagic each turn. It's currently running 8 orders, so we currently have 2. Well, this one's basically a removal spell, but also gets you tons of units. And this is good because it's basically the old Zorga's activated ability, but on a order, which is pretty good. And also, yeah, so it helps pump your front row as well as get another unit. And you have this one, which is basically just hits a unit, gives it power, or Soul Blast. You can do it level 1 if you want. Not that you can usually, because of how the deck works. And the last one is this one, which has very good value propositions in it. Because it has a high cost, which is retiring 2 rear guards, but you get to draw a card, you get to put it into soul, and you get to counter charge. But the best part about it is that it has no cost. Yeah, but before I get into that, so basically I have 2 copies of each of the orders. Now the best part about this deck in my opinion is this guy. So he's a dragon. He's a level 3 with 5k power, so it's like bad. But when you play a normal order, you can call him from your drop zone, and he can gain one of the following, which is either 10k power or +1 crit. But if it was alchemagic, you get both of the effects right. Now what happens with this order is you pay the cost first, and once the cost is paid, it is played. So if you have 2 of those dragons out, you can retire both of them, and then they'll both see the order being played and come back. So basically this has no cost. So you're basically just gaining all that stuff from it. You're drawing cards, you're getting soul, you're counter charging. And then you get 2 15k, 2 crit things, units. Yeah, to make the deck more consistent, you also run the doggo, who basically when on place from hand, you can search your deck for a order, and if it's already in your drop zone, it goes into hand, otherwise it goes into your drop, which is fine, you can get it back easily anyway. So as a second ability has, when you play an order, you can Soul Blast 1 and this unit gets 5k power. Doesn't seem too bad, but if it was an alchemagic, you can then choose one of the other rear guards to return to your hand, which you can use potentially, so you can, let's say you play a Zorga from drop, and the rear guard slot, you can bounce that so you can get guaranteed a Persona ride next turn. You can also bounce your perfect guards as well. It just gives us a lot of potential value. So a lot of things or you can bounce another copy of itself. There's generally a lot of things can just be played from drop and do the effects. It doesn't really matter, but the dog's first ability has to be from hand, so here's something you might want to drop. Zorga, for Persona riding, you want to get back. And your perfect guard. That's the only thing you really need to consider bouncing. Then we play this Flower Girl, who's really good for just getting soul. Because if you have no soul, you can soul charge too. Which is also a good way to find the stuff to put in your drop when you've soul blasted out. It's a way to find the dragons. If you soul charge dragons, you can then soul blast one enough for next turn. And it just works really, really well. So for example, if you're on, let's say, turn 2, you ride this, you've only got 1 card in soul, right? So you play one of these, you soul blast it out, hit something from drop, maybe one of the dragon was in drop, so that comes back to 15k, you just play this, and you just play the grade 2 and you just get 2 soul. It's really, really useful. Yeah, so you got 4 perfect guards like normal. Currently I'm playing 4 of the Mantis, which is really good. He's basically, the turn is played from anywhere, you basically get 13, so he's 8k himself, and you can give 5k to another unit. And right now I only have one copy of this unit, which basically when she's played, you put all the cards from your bind zone into your drop, and it gets 5k power per, which is quite a lot of power usually, but also it basically means you're never going to run out of orders to Alchemagic. Even though technically deck plays 8 and you've had enough to like Alchemagic 7 times, this way you can keep doing the same ones over. You also don't have to find all 8. So if you only have like 3 and you for some reason you're not drawing a rest, this can allow you to just keep doing it for as long as you need to. Trigger-wise, we just have the over trigger. We've got 4 copies of the put into soul to give something power trigger. 3 copies of the extra shield drawers. And currently I only have 2 copies of the extra shield front triggers. Which I think I am going to put 4 of those in and just run the 4 crits for front and 3 drawers and 4 heals. And over. So I just have 2 more normal crits in for now. And just see how it goes. Plus there are some different orders that might be worth coming. I don't have anything from BT5 yet. Plus I know there's one order from BT6 which is actually pretty good. It's similar to this order, but it's just slightly different how it works. And I'll give this deck a go in ranked mode. Just to sort of more realistic example of how it works. Sometimes CPU fights aren't the best. Right, this. So we're going to discard a Mantis. Don't really care about them. And then we got our activated ability, so we Soul Blast 1 to draw 2 cards. You can discard 2 normal cards or in order. So I'll just discard this order. We go for 2 triggers, which isn't ideal. And we'll pass it. No guard. Front trigger. Okay, so we've drawn a dragon, so we're going to discard the dragon to ride. Activate ability. Get this guy back. We won't be able to do any Alchemagic or any order playing this turn because we don't have any of ones we can play. At least we won't be able to set up for the next turn. And rather than playing something, I'm just going to attack. Hopefully next turn we either draw a dog or another order. We're kind of screwed. If we do, we'll be 55. We guard this. I'll save that for next turn. Where there'll be no pass. I guess we hasn't healing lots this game. Lots of new triggers. Riding Zorga. We do have a dog, which is good. I think we will discard probably the Mantis. So now I think what we want to do is grab the Soul Blast order with the dog. Then we're going to activate Zorga's ability. Soul Blast out this. Actually, Soul Blast out this. This might be more useful. Discard this order. And it's going to pick it back up again. Then we're going to play it. And play Elf Magic. I'll blast that. So I'll blast that. And we're going to grab... Mantis is probably a better bet. Mantis, yeah. Of course, they're calling out this as well. Activate this, grab our Dragon Boy. I might just give a power to Dragon Boy as well. And that way it's 30 or 43, so I need 3k to guard, or more than that actually. And we'll go to battle phase. Back with Zorga. So we've got that order now. And that one, so that's good. 35. And this is a 43. Which needs 35 to guard. Or a perfect guard. I guess we are healing lots. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So we'll perfect guard this one. I'll discard this. They have a PG in hand. I'll take this. We take this? Nah, we don't. Activate. I'll blast. I'll discard this. And grab it back. Then I'm gonna play this. Play this. This. Across this and this. Got lost. Good power here. Combat.
アタック。ノーガード。ドライブチェック。
Doggo, which is good.
ドライブチェック。ドロートリガー。パワープラス。これが私のヴァンガード。
Probably not gonna survive the next turn though, I don't think.
ダメージチェックね。
So it's 55 and this
ヴァンガードにアタック。
48.
スキルを発動するわ。パワープラス。
So now we need 30 more to guard. There's only 2 triggers, I guess. If I have them. I don't think he does, or else he would have got a room by now. I guess, yeah, it doesn't have triggers. It's not ideal.
発動するわ。完全ガードするわ。ヴァンガードにアタック。
Now you have to perfect guard this, will just take 2.
ノーガード。
So there's no way we're going to guard that. After using sure in the first one.
ダメージチェックね。ダメージチェック。
It needs to be a trick moon, which is good.
ターンエンド。私のターン。
So we've got 2 damage and 4 triggers in hand. So we should be able to survive.
スキル発動。クリティカルプラス。スキル発動。パワープラス。ヴァンガードにアタック。
I think I just need to guard this and hope for a best. So I need 2. That's 20 actually. It's 20. It's 50. We're about 30, right? 1 pass. No pass.
ドライブチェックね。ドライブチェックね。フロントトリガー。パワープラス。
So we take 2.
ヴァンガードにアタック。ノーガード。ダメージチェック。ヴァンガードにアタックするわ。ノーガード。ダメージチェック。ドロートリガー。
Got another dragon.
ペルソナライド。
Yeah. I think what we're gonna do. I'll blast this out. We have it as an option. Got dragon. Basically have to win this turn. So I do have to sacrifice 2 things. But I think we'll be okay. So I will need to play... Or... play the dog. I'll grab this back. Should be able to bounce. We've got 0. Oh, 1 I can bounce a pivot guard. I'll play this with this. Last
魔法
verse.
生オーダー発動
Get rid of this. Actually, no. I don't have soul to do that.
スペリオルコール スペリオルコール スキル発動 スペリオルコール パワープラスクリティカルプラススキル発動スペリオルコールパワープラスクリティカルプラススキル発動パワ
Let's
ー
put
プ
all
ラ
in
ス
one. Or split it.
スキル発動パワープラス
We ran out of time. Go to combat.
ヴァンガードにアタック スキル発
Not a huge amount of time to think in this
パ
game.
ワープラス
It's 2 paths.
ガードドライブチェック
Yeah, it's happening.
ドライブチェックオーバートリガー
Okay.
パワープラスクリティカルプラス
What?
パワープラスターンエンドスタンドアンドドローペルソナライド
I got enough to survive. Wow. So it turned out, yeah. Did I only have a minute to play stuff in? How did that work?
コールスキル発動クリティカルプラスヴァンガードにアタック
I need to stop this with...
ガードヴァンガードにアタックするわスキル発動完全ガードドライブチェックドライブチェッククリティカルトリガークリティカルプラスパワープラスヴァンガードにアタックするわノーガードダメージチェックヒールトリガーいいヴァンガードファイトでした
So I tried to get another good game to show, like, as an example of gameplay after that one game where I timed out. I didn't have that much luck. But I did get a lot of thought into the deck. Because I did notice that when the deck wasn't doing well, it was when it wasn't finding the dragon. So for example, one game I think I saw one copy, and it was literally the first damage I took, and I never managed to heal it out. So I think without it, you kind of like, I think in a way the deck's relying on as much as finding the dragon as like the decks with level 3 Vanguard or level 4 Vanguards need to find the level 4 Vanguards to actually do something usually. I have had a thought about it. I think something like this order could actually be an option because it allows you to get that +1 crit and extra power on just any unit if you have 50 more cards in your drop, which potentially could also be an issue to get. At the same time, it's also a free order, there's no cost here. So it could actually potentially be a option. But in order to get there, I was thinking, there's one unit. Because you have access to her. Because this is another good potential unit we could actually play, because it's from BT1, it's actually designed for the deck. Because when placed, you mill free, which does mean you can find your dragons a lot sooner. And then you can retire it to make your Alchemagic cost no Soul Blast, which isn't as good now as a lot of the good orders don't actually Soul Blast, because I think the very first set, 3 orders, and one of them was a Soul Blast too. Because there's no Counter Blast on orders, so actually this made a lot of sense, but I think purely just for a mill it might actually be worth running. At the same time, I think more copies of the Soul Charge Flower Girl could also be an option, because if you're getting it into Soul, you're still seeing more cards. Yes, I might experiment with maybe a couple of copies of her and maybe try up the order of gives crit and just see how things go. Because yeah, if you don't get the drag, you're not actually getting any value out of anything. You're not getting the value you need to come out on top. Because if you just cast orders and bring stuff back with them, you're not really gaining much compared to if you're just playing a normal deck. But as soon as you get the dragon involved, you start gaining cards for free, and that's I think when the deck really shines, but without that it's not that good. And even then, like, the deck feels more survivable than normal decks, so you do have a lot of cards, but at the same time you only have those cards when you're getting that value in the first place. So I do need to tweak the deck quite a bit and just figure out a way to more consistently get access to the dragon for the value. Yeah, so that's the basics of how a deck works and at its current state and my thoughts on it. And it is a fun deck to play, but it's just, from my experience with rank mode, takes too long. I think they need to increase the time or something for your turn, or maybe do a chess clock system, just because, like, yeah, if you're doing a deck with any sort of combo, you can just time out and just lose because of that. And there's a lot of decks that just play a lot faster. So I need to find a... Sweet, thanks for coming everyone, and watching this video.